Burgos winning the opening leg in front of a big crowd, but unfortunately with the coronavirus issues around Europe and the world, no fans will be attending this game. That was an edict handed down just several hours ago here in Spain by the health minister in Spain. Anyway, you could see that lower right-hand quadrant. The winner will face of this series will face the winner of the series between Hapoel Jerusalem and Peristeri Windmasters. And Burgos, how will they fare without their fans in here watching them tonight? Of course, they thrive on the energy, just like really any team does. But you know what? You have adversity in different types of ways, and this is an adversity, a shared adversity, really, for many teams in all sports, not just basketball, that the world is coping with right now. So, San Pablo Burgos against Dinamo Sassari. Burgos lead at 1-0, and Peristeri Windmasters trying to come back from a 1-0 deficit at home in their game against Hapoel Jerusalem. Dinamo Sassari, for a long stretch there, the way they played, especially in the third quarter after falling behind, looked like they might come back and get a big win in front of the home fans. They were certainly the better team for a long stretch in the second half, but they did not complete the job. Marcos Spisu was terrific. Miro Balan was good. Jamie Smith started the year, obviously, with Banderma now here, Lorenzo Bucarelli, Giacomo De Vecchi, Paulius Sorocas, Dwayne Evans, Daniel Magro, all the way down to Dechampierre. This is a very good Dinamo Sassari team, and they don't want to see their run in the Basketball Champions League derailed in the round of 16. For Burgos, Mark Garcia, Earl Clark, Bruno Fittipaldo, Vitor Benite, Alex Barrera, Javi Vega, Miguel Salvo, Thaddeus McFadden, Haciel Rivero, Ferran Basas, Augusto Lima, and Dragan Apic. And for Coach Joan Peñarroya, of course, Gianmarco Pizzeco is the coach of Dinamo Sassari. Basas, meanwhile, has become the player that has played in more Basketball Champions League games than any other player. He's played in 50. That was what he achieved last week when he played against Dinamo Sassari. And Basas, obviously a member of that Iberostar Tenerife team that won the title a few years ago, and he played for that same club the following 2 years as well. So Dinamo Sassari trying to get things together here. You see him huddling up, just like Burgos having to overcome the loss of not having their fans. Dinamo Sassari have had a lot of disruption to their season, as have all Italian teams, with games right now being postponed. And we just hope that everything gets back to normal as soon as possible, but needs must. If it's better not to allow huge numbers of fans into the game to contain the virus, the coronavirus, and that's what has to be done, and that has been decided. So there's Pizzeco, clearly a big name as a player and trying to make his name as a coach. And if he gets a win tonight, that would force a game 3 back in Sassari in Sardinia, the island of Sardinia, which obviously to west, basically west of the mainland of Italy in the Mediterranean Sea. How good is Burgos? Well, you know what? They have been so tough at home this season that nobody really hardly anybody rather, has been able to solve them. Just go through some interesting numbers that I was perusing. They've won 6 of the 7 games they've played at home in the Basketball Champions League this season. Remember, they also came through qualifying. 3 of those wins by 16+ points. They've made it an average of 91.6 points while playing at home, and only Hapoel Jerusalem have scored highest average of points per game while playing on their own court in the Basketball Champions League this season. Dinamo Sassari have won all 5 of their last 6 away games in the competition after winning only 1 of their previous 4 games on the road. Sassari have never beaten a Spanish team at home in the Basketball Champions League, but have won both games they've played in Spain in the competition. So that sure does indicate that we could be in for an interesting game tonight. Ademir Zarapovic, Eddie Viator, and Wojciech Liszka from Bosnia and Herzegovina, France, and Poland, respectively. Refereeing tonight, Zarapovic, the crew chief, in the middle. And really, I thought Igor Turkovic of the Basketball Champions League, one of their writers on their website, put it best when you talk about Burgos, who he ranked 2nd in the power rankings, just behind Hapoel Bank Yahav Jerusalem. And why has he done it? Well, not only did they win last week at Dinamo Sassari to steal home court advantage after that 30-point explosion by Vitor Benite, but they beat Hapoel Bank Yahav Jerusalem, and I'll tell you more about that in a second. Sassari starting 5, Spisu, Bilan, Evans, Pierre, and Vitali. Michele Vitali, who was off and on last week, fouled out of the game, you might remember. And you've got Spisu with those 17 points, 3 or 4 from deep, and 4 assists in game 1. And Gianmarco Pozzecco wearing the spectacles. Certainly a player that you could not keep your eye off of back in the day. Played for Italy's silver medal winning team at the Athens Olympics. Hard to believe that was back in 2004. That was so long ago, but that's the case. We're all older now, including Pozzecco, but I'm sure he could still get out there and get the job done. There's Bassas that we talked about being the player with the most appearances in the Basketball Champions League. So Earl Clark, who was terrific last week. Fittipaldo, Vitor Benite, Miguel Salvo, and Augusto Lima in the starting 5 tonight for Burgos. So at home, Burgos have won against Antwerp. They've won against Anvil. They have lost. The only team they lost to was Pau La Cortez. You see, Vitor Benite had 30 points last week, 7 of 10 from 3-point range, and has 4 rebounds. San Pablo Burgos, they beat Ike at home. They beat Hapoel Bank Yahav Jerusalem at home. So, you know, when you do that, you know that you're tough to beat. But the big difference with those wins and what they're facing tonight is that they've got no fans here. So fans want to be here, and they waited as long as possible, but ultimately the decision was taken out of their hands.
Y no hay salida a tiro, seguimos jugando para bloqueo directo. Sí, ok, Leo.
So what I was saying was Igor Turkovic, when he was talking about these power rankings, you want to read it because Dinamo Sassari come in at 9 and San Pablo Burgos come in at 2. And it was in the section under Dinamo Sassari where he kind of highlighted the fact that Pau La Cortez were the only team to win at Burgos this season. Hapoel Bank Yahav Jerusalem, Ike, and Texas Bandrima all lost here in this arena. So this has been a fortress for San Pablo Burgos. Of course, you have to remember the incredible performance by Nicolas de Jong for Pau La Cortez. He was player of the week. That's what it took to beat this Burgos team at home. Right now, these players are focused in, fans or no fans, they're ready to go. Well, good evening, folks. We are underway here in Burgos. Basketball Champions League, a round of 16 series. It's Burgos in the purple with that 1-0 lead after winning last week. And Marcos Bisu comes right out and hits a jump shot right at the line. So Dinamo Sassari off to a good start. Bisu is, I'll tell you what, I really rate him after watching him play for Italy during the last qualifiers for the Eurobasket. Lima gets inside, not able to knock it in. Ball goes out of bounds, so they will keep it at this end. Inbounds pass to Earl Clark. And a push has been called on Lima. Clark really was a player that made a lot of big plays last week late in the game. Benite got all the attention and deservedly so for his scoring. He was phenomenal, but Clark was the man that made some big plays down the stretch, including a huge putback. Evans, and strokes the three-pointer. And you have to really also emphasize how well he played last week, Evans, in that third quarter, as Dinamo Sassari came all the way back. Fittipaldo, meanwhile, has it for Burgos, who trail 5-0. Spin move, Benite gets inside. The Brazil international misses. Evans with the rebound. Fast start here, potentially, for Sassari. Good hustle back by Lima to come up with the steal. There were no fans in the arena because of the concerns about containing coronavirus. So that's why you have nobody in the seats right now. Otherwise, this place would be packed because it's arguably the biggest game in the history of Burgos, which is really the shame of it all, that their fans aren't allowed to be in the arena tonight to experience it. But I can promise you they're watching on TV, and probably a lot of them right outside of this arena. Lima follows up the miss, gets it back, and called for the travel. Might have been better to pass it out. Lima has to be careful. Very emotional player. That can help him, but it can also hurt him and hurt his team. Doesn't want to pick up a technical. Salvo knocks the ball out of bounds. You know, if you took a vote on home crowd, home advantages throughout Spain, I guarantee you that Burgos would rank right near the top in terms of home court advantage. They have some of the best fans in Spain. So ball turned over now into the hands of Benite. Clark spins. Evans takes it away, hands it off to Spisu. Now he gets it over to Bilan, who lays it up and in. And now it's a 7-0 lead. So Dinamo Sassari, who had the slow start last week, of course, a lot of that was because of the explosion of Benite, have jumped out to a 7-0 lead here at San Pablo Burgos. Turning and strong move from Earl Clark. You know what? When you need a basket, go down low to your veteran and get a high percentage shot. That was a very smart move by Clark. Michele Vitali, his bounce pass thrown just in front of Bilan. Couldn't get it. This is Clark. Had the mismatch on Vitali. Quick spin and bucket. Oh, that was a pearl of a move by Earl Clark. Now Fittipaldo for three, and Uruguay international appeals to the referee. He's been a really good three-point shooter this season, but he didn't get anything there. I've got a feeling we're going to be able to hear the coaches a lot more in this game because of no fans. You could hear Piñeroya. Now Miro Bilan going to work on Augusto Lima. Turns, and nice finish by the Croatia international. Benite gets it down low. Lima, and strong move by Augusto Lima. One of the two Brazil internationals on the court for São Paulo Burgos. There are lots of fans back in Italy watching this game. The Serena's watching up in the north of Italy, all probably cheering for Dinamo Sassari, and they'll be cheering louder after that three-pointer by Marco Spies with Gianmarco Pizzeco. Just before he was about to inbound the ball, Pizzeco came up and had words with him about something. Drew a wry smile from Bassas. I think he was more amused than anything. Evans gets it over to Dechampierre, who's had a quiet series. He puts it up and misses with a little spinning hook. McFadden gets it down to Clark. Clark goes right at Pierre, and Evans gets the rebound. Evans is going to finish with a big stat line tonight. 11 points, 2 assists, a rebound, a steal for Evans. Gentile misses it badly. Now Bassas. Clark had the three, decides to get a better look, backs up, and then he's fouled by Smith, Jamie Smith. You might remember he spent the majority of the season with Texas Banderma, and then due to the business of the game, parted ways with Emmanuel Terry. And he joined this Dinamo Sassari team. Evans goes out, so that has to come as a sigh of relief for this Burgos team to see Evans leave, because he's really been the man that's terrorized them more than anybody, he and Spisu. McFadden looking for space, puts it up. Boy, who was that soaring for the rebound? It was Rivero, and then he is fouled by Colby. Well, Colby did the right thing. He didn't want to give up anything. He wants to put him on the line. But Rivero, that was a man's rebound. And Colby just made sure he was not going to get the 2 points. It's like, you want the 2 points, you can go earn them. Rivero does get the first one to drop. Close games all the way around tonight. Filo Ostend leading at halftime against Iberostar Tenerife, 41-36, trying to force a Game 3 decider, and Telecom Basket Spawn up 49-45 on Ike, and they're trying to even that series as well. Rivero does make both free throws and puts it back to a 7-point deficit now for Burgos. Smith into Pierre. Pierre goes to work, spins, puts it up, blocked. What a great play by Clark. Now McFadden. He wanted to, but Clark, everybody that guards Clark is like, I've got a mismatch, I'm going to take him. Gentile commits the foul. That was just great defense by Earl Clark. With Earl Clark, you get a real pro. He's in your team. He's so reliable. Now McFadden. Rivero, another rebound. Goes up strong, and Jaciel Rivero, with that basket, cuts that deficit back to 5 points.
Tenemos tiempo muerto en pista. Sol invitado por el banquillo del Dinamo Sassari.
Pierre did not want to give away a three-point play, but Rivero is doing the job on the boards. And that leads to the timeout. 3 rebounds in 6.5 minutes of action and 8 points for Rivero.
Okay? Be smart. Go on the shooter and give space to who is not able to shoot.
If we have the shooter, we follow.
Interesting.
We follow. Then to the end we become man-to-man, okay? Yeah. If we follow, we score, we scream, follow, and we can become man-to-man. In offense,
15
we
points
give the
off the bench for Burgos.
And then we play first side for me.
Let's go.
So they want to leave the non-shooter open. Evans, you see right now with 11 points, 3 of 4 from three-point range. Here's a look at him. So who are they going to leave open? That's the question. Maybe they try to leave Apich open. Talking about guarding the shooters. But one thing about Burgos is they certainly did not guard Evans early on in this game, but they've done a good job to cut it back to 5 points now, the deficit. Now Michele Vitale for 3, bounces around, and Rivero owns the glass tonight, folks. Jaciel Rivero sweeping him, sweeping the boards. Now he goes in for a tough move, but he almost gets it back, misses the shot. Intriguing matchup with, I'm guessing, Rivero and Paulius Sorokas, the Lithuanian, are going to be guarding each other. Yep, he's got Sorokas. Gentile off the front of the iron. Here's McFadden. Clark. Oh, Clark might have thrown an elbow and gotten away with it. But it was after the foul. Watch what happens. So Gentile reaches in and fouls him. Well, it didn't look like it there. Gentile was definitely trying to deny Clark the ball, but he goes out. Clark puts it on the deck, goes in. I mean, is he the best player on the court or what? It's either he or Rivero. He has just taken matters into his own hands and said, you are not going to beat us on our home court tonight, fans or no fans. Clark is looking like the real deal. Vitale for 3. And meanwhile, those Italian jump shooters have gone cold. Clark here can pull them to within 1. He makes the pass, and then he gets it back. And he goes up and throws it down. You are watching a virtuoso, veteran professional performance by Earl Clark tonight, folks. He is absolutely dominating the game. Look at this. You can just see he has got the bit between the teeth. He's taken matters into his own hands. And this is why he earns the big money. You got to have him in your team. That forces the timeout. And Dinamo Sassari have to be wondering how in the world they led by 17 points, and that has already almost all of it evaporated. And I've got the answer. It goes by the name of Earl Clark. 11 points, 2 rebounds, and doing a lot of good stuff.
In any case, they got mismatch because
Only mismatch.
yeah.
For we stay.
Hey,
Anticipate the rotation, the one they shoot. So anticipate the rotation.
hey, we play. Play the quick. We play sharp for you.
Earl Clark, there he is, 11 points, 5 of 7 from the floor. In this case, he got the mismatch. That was the one that really got him going. After the McFadden miss, also Jaciel Rivero. Also equally important really for Burgos has been the insertion of Jaciel Rivero. He has been full of energy, 8 points, 4 rebounds. But the combination of Clark and Rivero has been terrific. Spisu back in, tries to get it to Balan, but throws it behind him. Now Basas in the open floor, steps back over to McFadden for 3. And there for the offensive rebound, and put back is Rivero. And Burgos have taken the lead. You hear a roar around the city, folks. Plenty of people watching this out in the bars tonight. Basas going for the steal. All the momentum right now with the home team. Look at Rivero. He has just been a beast. 10 points, 5 rebounds, and he's only played 8.5 minutes. Vitali over to Evans. Spisu from the left. It's good. Clutch play by Marco Spisu. Spisu and Evans, to me, are the key. I mean, they are playing at a different level for Dinamo Sassari. When they're on the court, they're a much better team. Clark again goes to town, and Pierre did just enough to put him off his shot that time. Evans stumbled but gets it to Vitali. That's a long 2, and he's fouled. Foul McFadden, you could see, wanted to get a hand in the face but did not want to foul him. Michele Vitali sinks the first. And back to a 3-point lead. It's all hands on deck. It's going to be a game of runs, it feels like right now. What an exciting contest. With unfortunately no fans allowed to watch it here in the arena because of the coronavirus. They want to contain it. That's pretty much part and parcel of the way it is around Europe right now. Now the 3-point shot is good by Basas. And he closes the deficit back to 1 point. Ferran Basas. Evans not allowed to turn by Rivero. Now Spisu pulls up. Man, he is automatic. I mean, this guy is a stud. "17 points for Marco Spisu. Just such an impressive player. Also a lefty. I always think the lefties look better. I don't know why. McFadden for 3, answers, and ties the game. We got a humdinger, a barn burner here in Burgos. Evans tries to take on Rivero, and Rivero has none of it. Look at him, he just takes it away. He crosses midcourt. Over to McFadden on the left. And Rivero with another rebound. He's gonna have a double-double by halftime. Poor Rivero is really going at it with Evans. Evans having to really put his body on the line guarding that man. Now Clark sinks it, and Burgos take a 43-41 advantage. This is why you play the game. You want to play in the big ones like this. And you can see that Clark is relishing the moment, as is this man, Evans, from deep. This time a little short. Pierre tries to get the basketball, but Rivero is there. Now Basas hands it off. Ball knocked out of bounds. Jaciel Rivero, 10 points, 8 rebounds. Earl Clark, 13 points and 2 rebounds. You can hear Gianmarco Pizzeco shouting from the bench. In fact, the ball goes out of bounds and is awarded to Dinamo Sassari. Fittipaldo doesn't want to get lost in the shuffle. He's out there playing mean D on Spisu now. Milan over to Dechampierre. Here has really been a non-factor offensively. He wants to get into the game, into the flow. Benite back in. Now pulls it back out. His team up by 2. Well, you can't leave Apic open. He just showed you why. And now Burgos have their biggest lead of the game, 45-41. Great hustle in the corner. And that's the man right there that has to get it going. It's not necessarily, it doesn't have to be his scoring, but he has to contribute on the glass and with his defense. Dechampierre, Sorocas as well, needs to raise his intensity the way that it was in the second half last week. And the dump to Bilan. And follows up his own miss and is able to get it to go, cut it back to a 2-point game. Pierre is 0 for 5 from the floor. Bilan now with 6 points. Fittipaldo over to Clark, able to keep it and tries to make the bounce pass to Apic. It was kicked. They're going to put 14 on the shot clock. It does not come any, games are not any more intense than what we're watching right now, folks. This is exciting stuff. Timeout as both teams head over to the bench. And Dinamo Sassari wondering how they could have been up by 17 points, and now they trail by 2.
Vamos a jugar una L in. R. Paul. Víctor. Asiel. Dragan. ¿Vale? Y aquí Bruno. ¿Vale? Si hay pase, lo damos. Si no hubiera pase, tú te sigues abriendo y Dragan entra. ¿Vale? Cat, bad cat. Fake cat. Míralo un momento. Si se despistara para darle el balón. Y si no, venga, para ese juego.
Spisu, 4-4 from deep, 17 points. 6 of 7. But also defensively, he's been good. Not just a giant man's game. There's a position out there for everybody. I mean, anybody can play basketball as long as they have the heart and they got that determination and that belief. And Marcos Spisu has it. Same for Vitor Benite. He's not the biggest man out there either, but boy, can he get the job done. Fittipaldo. Shot clock down to about 3. The running LA and NA. That was the call from the coach. And Bruno Fittipaldo misses from deep, and now Dinamo Sassari can hold it for the last shot. But will they? They can tie it or take the lead. And a foul before the shot with 10.2 seconds remaining. So Burgos can also commit another foul if they want. Before they send him to the line. And now Vitali comes in and Mira Bilan goes out. So you bring in Vitali, Bilan stays in the game. Not sure who it was that went out. Anyway, here's Evans. Gets in the paint, and good job, Burgos. They hold firm on that last possession, and they have to be emotionally charged up after that comeback. They trailed by 17, but now they lead 45-43 over Dinamo Sassari at halftime. got to play. They throw it all the way down the court. He gets it. He throws it up. Unbelievable. Well, that'll put Vitoretta, give him a smile going to halftime, and that will certainly upset Georgia.
And now, Telecom passes Bond. Gonna push, alley-oop, oh baby! It is a high-flying show from the team from Germany. They're throwing everything up. They're putting on a show. Kendrick Gray behind the back. Oh, big time three. Kendrick Gray and Dio Tria Barcalo. Kendrick Gray.
Now Spisu in the open floor, gets it down low, swatted by Lima. Wow, he was up there. Not in my house, he says.
Dijon up by 12 at home, game 1, round of 16, knockout stage, and what a beautiful play, and is that the knockout punch delivered by Dijon? What a pass by Axel Julien. Teamwork of the highest level.
Booker has it knocked away, pocket pick. Oh, what a block. Spiked that one against the backboard.
That's in Tehran for 3. And there for the follow, put back dunk is Kyle Wilcher. And that was done out of frustration because he has certainly not had it his own way tonight.
Hankins misses the put down. Chance to run here for Randirmar. They push. Great push. Nice pass. Super finish. And Yilmaz gets the 2, and they turn defense into offense. A chance for Feld in a run. Gives it up. Ramo in transition. Oh! Spike didn't take that. Jerusalem trying to break open the game here. Lead at 65-61. Timeout.
And has the ball knocked away. A good play by Tascaran. It's going to be an easy one. It's going to be Nick Johnson. A whirlybird special. Nice 360 from Nick Johnson. Look at this. You don't give me chances to have a 360. the fans aren't allowed to come and watch this game, but let's go down and listen to Coach Pizzeco.
We let them take too many offensive rebounds. Okay, also they play much better, and so. But we are almost tied now, and we have to be smart when they play small ball. We have to play inside, and when they go bigs, we have to be more fast on the court, move the ball, play pick and roll, and attack them not on a low post, but with a shooter or running on the court. So we have to do this.
Jamie and Deshaun has not scored yet. How important is to get them involved on the game?
Yeah, of course, like a strange situation, no offense. Jamie came here like 1 week ago. We are living not so good situation in Italy, but I'm proud of my player because they decide in any case to stay here in Burgos, to be professional and fair, and we could go home yesterday, but they decide to stay here and play.
Thank you. Coach, slow start, but the team made a great comeback in the second quarter.
Yes, start with all our supporters is difficult for every team on this league. And we try to come back on the second quarter with more intensity, more energy, and we recover the advantage at the beginning of Sassari.
What do you need to improve to get the win?
I think we have to be ready for stop Spisu. He's playing very comfortable. We need to play more physical against him. Don't leave him score so easy.
Okay, thank you.
Estará animando como si estuviera aquí. ¡Vamos, Burgos, a por el partido! Va a comenzar el tercer cuarto de este San Pablo Burgos Dinamo Sassari.
Second half action underway here in Burgos. Burgos leading at 45-43. They trailed by as many as 17 points in the first half. Marcos Pisu comes right out and tries to strike from the right corner, this time off target. It's Fran Hernandez, the assistant coach, who spoke at halftime, and not Coach Peñarroya for San Pablo Burgos. And now the team's battling down low, and a foul called on Deschamps Pierre. In fact, it might be on Evans. Because Spisu actually called for the foul on Bassas. We'll just let the referees call it next time. So Bassas makes the first. Of course, he played for Spain in the last window for the European qualifiers, the Eurobasket qualifiers rather, 2021. Had a great run the last 4 years playing in the Basketball Champions League. nobody's played in any more games. I mean, he holds the record with 50 right now. So as long as he keeps playing, he's gonna keep tallying those games. Miro Bilan passes it into the hands of Earl Clark. He was trying to get it to Pierre in the corner. Clark pulls up. I mean, I think it's like watching an artist at work here on the court, Earl Clark. I mean, he is or maybe a craftsman, a precision craftsman. He just looks like he knows what he's doing every time he's got the basketball. So Clark with 15 points. Now foul called on Augusto Lima. Remember, the real difference was that bench for Burgos in that first half. Those guys came off the bench and really raised the level of play for the home side. Three-point shot from Pierre. And Burgos with their biggest lead of the game, 6 points. Now Clark goes down low and banks it in over Dijon Pierre. He's just at a different level, folks. 17 points. I think we're going to give him the nickname Unstoppable. And here he is, Jaciel Rivero, defending against Evans, forcing the turnover. Jaciel Rivero's strength has been such a factor tonight. Here he is, putting it up from deep. I would not, you know, it's been his overall work on the boards and his scoring down low. I don't know why he's stepping outside and shooting. I know he can shoot it from three, but here's Bilan. They don't need that from him right now. And meanwhile, Bilan is steadily, quietly having himself a very nice game tonight. Miro Bilan now with 10 points. 4 of 5 from the floor. And the pass down low, and Benite can't believe not only did he miss the shot, but he missed it as badly as he did. It's almost as if the ball slipped out of his hands. Well, Filo Osten up 5 on Verstar Tenerife in their game 2, and Bonn leading Ike 66-62 early in the 4th quarter. So close games all the way around. Vitor Benite makes the first, and the lead now 7. I mean, this guy was a star at the 2016 Olympics for Brazil. Don't forget, he is a quality player. You've got some big-time players in the Basketball Champions League, players that have played in the biggest of games, in the big arenas. And this is something new, really having to play with no fans. But that is the reality because of the coronavirus and the decision handed down this afternoon that was going to be the case, or at least the announcement was made this afternoon. Still think it has to be Spissu and Evans that have to get the job done for Dinamo Sassari, and with a sprinkling of Miro Bilan. Here's Spissu for 3, off the rim, and Benite crosses midcourt, goes in, and there for the tip. And the follow, Jaciel Rivero. And now you got Dinamo Sassari talking to the refs. I'm not sure what they're complaining about. They just got beat on the glass. Okay. So Miro Bilan complaining that he was pushed. Well, Augusto Lima certainly is smiling about it. Of course, his teammate is at the line. Probably the only good thing about not having fans is that you get, from time to time, the courtside mic picks up the words of the players. Now it's a 9-point lead for Burgos. Meanwhile, Bonn and Ike are tied early in the 4th quarter. Evans.
Segunda falta personal del número 14 de San Pablo Burgos, Jaciel Rivero.
Evans, and the threes are not falling right now. And Dinamo Sassari starting to fade a little bit here. Gonna have to be on this end of the floor where they can really try to be more disruptive. Bassas, meanwhile, strokes a three. And San Pablo Burgos now up double digits. And Gianmarco Puzecco has no other option but to call a timeout. Okay, I think that was a 2. I think his right foot was on the line. The refs might have a look at this. But even so, an 11-point lead for San Pablo Burgos.
Vamos allá, palmas.
He's inside. If there is not, you can shoot. But also you can shoot without any problem. Hey. Guys, we have to be a little bit more aggressive in defense. Don't worry. Fight. Let's fight. We have to fight. Hey.
Dinamo Sassari started with the 8 threes, and they were shooting the lights out, but now 6 threes have been made by Burgos. The winner of this series will advance to face the winner of Hapoel Jerusalem and Pedesteri Windmasters. Those two teams play tomorrow night in Greece. We'll stand up by 6 on Tenerife now early in the fourth. Bonn now trailing 72-70. So again, the madness has started. We are in March, folks. It's chaos. I love it. Bilan misses everything. Dinamo Sassari right now looking more and more like almost a tired team. They've got to somehow find something within themselves, find some energy. It was there for everybody to see in that first quarter, but it's not there to be seen right now. It's probably a good gamble by Gentile. Try to get something. And the ball goes off of Bilan and out of bounds. Clark. Now an opportunity for Dinamo Sassari. Spisu. To Bilan. Over to Pierre. Passes up the 3. And Vitor Benite reaches in and commits the foul. Long way to go in this one. And Pierre is really a strong candidate to get things going. He has to for Dinamo Sassari. Evans not looking quite as formidable in the second half. There he is, getting it to Gentile. Oh, that was big. That breathes a little life into Dinamo Sassari. Bassas. Dump, and Rivero fouled. Something tells me there's a few twists and tails and turns left in this one with just over 15 minutes remaining. Plenty of time for some theatrics, for some drama. Yeah, that's a clear foul, Miro Bilan. So Rivero misses the first. And he misses the second as well. Well, nothing that'll give a team a chance to get back in the game like missed free throws. Gentile, and I think it was Rivera who knocked it off the rim. Spissu for three, and Pierre can't get the rebound away from Earl Clark. High pitch, bounce pass. Well, the ball just did not go in, just rattled out for Gentile. Rivera just missed a couple at the line. And this is another one. Finally gets one to go and takes it back up to a 10-point lead. So Rivera takes a seat and goes out of the game having scored 12 points and grabbed 10 rebounds. Salvo tries to come up with a steal.
12 seconds on the shot clock.
Nowhere to go for Evans. Gets it back to Pierre. Goes behind his back. Finally, are they going to count it? No, they're going to say the foul before the shot, which is unfortunate for Dijon Pierre because that was his best move of the night.
Primera mano personal del número 11 de San Juan de Burgos, Miguel Salvo.
And it's been that kind of night. Even at the free throw line, Dijon Pierre not able to get on the board. He's 0 for 6 from the floor. And now he misses the first of 2 free throws. He makes the second, so that 1 point. Let's see if that starts something positive for him. Gentile reaches in and commits the foul.
Tercera falta personal del número 22 de Dinamo Sassari, Gentile.
Well, Bonn lost a close one last week at Ike, and now they are losing by a point late in the game. Vitor Benite, meanwhile, goes to the line. And these free throws are important. I mean, you know, at some point you feel like Dinamo Sassari are going to be able to take it up a notch. So you better get your points while you can. Gentile has 3 fouls. Quick pass down low to Colby, and he throws it down. Well, that might spark him to life. And now an offensive foul has been called on Burgos. Foul on Clark. This was the dunk by Colby. 4 points off 2 dunks for Colby. Now Gentile, Evans, Spissu into Colby, make it 3 dunks. And now it's a 7-point game. And you can see the Dinamo Sassari bench getting up. Clark from deep. Oh boy, that is big. Just when you felt like Dinamo Sassari might be about to go on a run, Earl Clark, yet again, now has 20 points. Comes to the 4. Gentile steps back for 3, and his offensive foul. on Gentile. Must have happened after he took the shot. I thought they were going to call a foul on the three-point shot. It was Eddie Viator from France making the call. And this is what Pizzeco is saying. He wants an explanation, and honestly, so do I. Watch what happens. Okay, so he gets there, he steps back, takes the three. I don't get it. I don't understand what the foul is. Unless he, like, punched Benite, but I mean, I'd have to see it again. But that is a strange one. And clearly Gentile and Pizzeco, unless maybe he said he kicked him somehow. So Benite takes advantage. And takes it up to a 12-point advantage.
También el cambio del Dinamo Sassari, se sienta Tyson Pierre y entra en pista Lorenzo Bucarelli.
Evans hands it off to Spissu. And this time the foul is on Fittipaldo. Well, every week they look at the tough calls on the Basketball Champions League website. I would really hope that that would be one that they would review, but I don't know. Maybe, you know, there's no telling which ones they're going to choose. We're talking about the foul that they called to Gentile as he shot the three-pointer against Benite. And now Spissu misses the free throw, and that is a horrible sign for Dinamo Sassari fans. They're struggling. They miss free throws. They really do have to dig in now, Dinamo Sassari. They've got to really draw on those reserves and try to get something. And it's not going to be easy against Burgos, who right now look confident and energetic. McFadden for three. He goes down, trying to get a foul called on the three. Gentile goes baseline. Boy, that was a tough shot. And then Gentile has words, and now they've called it a foul, a technical foul. And this is unfortunate, but I think you have to keep your composure. And if the technical foul is on Gentile, he's out of the game. If they called it on Pizzeco.
No, coach. I have C technical foul.
Well, Gentile has to exit. So he picks up his fifth foul, and I think it's on the technical. So, oh no, they called it an unsportsmanlike foul. And then they call the technical foul. Okay, watch Gentile. I'm just looking at the official scoring just to make sure I've got this right. They called it a disqualifying foul. Apparently, it was registered in the official scoring to the coach, but Gentile is the one who has walked away, so hopefully we'll get some clarity here.
Then we have technical foul number 22. Yes.
Okay, they did call it technical on Gentile.
His fifth foul, and then we have disqualification. It was his fifth.
So, when you disqualify him, he is already a member of the bench.
Okay, so how many technical on the bench now?
We have already one.
Okay, and the last one is?
No, wait.
How many we have on the bench now, Paul?
Before the disqualification, we have only one. Okay.
C and B. So it's the same.
So we have the technical foul caught by point. Yes. Then we have the technical foul on the player.
Okay, we've lost the audio, so we were getting it explained, and then we lost the audio. But hopefully we'll be able to hear what's going on. Ike, meanwhile, up 5 points now in the final minute. Still stand up 7 with 3.5 minutes to go on Tenerife. Well, one of the challenges of a professional athlete is you got to maintain your composure in those difficult moments. And really just that little loss of composure, despite whether or not you're right or wrong, you know it's going to cost you. You're thrown out of the game, and also you put the other team on the free throw line for the technical foul. So yeah, so the technical was called on Gentile. So he's gone. That was his 5th foul. And also apparently a bench technical foul. So 3 free throws in all. I think the official scoring needs to catch up because that doesn't explain all of the free throws. So there was a bench technical foul that was also called. Now that has just been registered. And the technical foul and also what was described as a coach disqualifying foul. So anyway, those 3 free throws, Burgos go back up by 12 points, and they will not make any apologies for what's happened. They'll try to take advantage. Now Benite puts it up from deep and hits the 3. And the lead now 15 is Vitor Benite, the specter of him heating up like he did last week. Apic raises his hand to signify that he picked up the foul. You know, it doesn't look good for Dinamo Sassari right now as Lorenzo Bucarelli drives in and gets the foul called. But don't forget, there's more than 11 minutes remaining, so still a lot of basketball to be played, and crazier things that have happened than coming back from 15 points down. And this won't be the first time that these Dinamo Sassari players have been in this type of situation. All Bucarelli needed was a chance to get in the game, and he comes out and he makes a play. He gets it down to 13 points now, the deficit. McFadden gets it to Clark. Ball batted out of bounds by Evans.
Nine on a shot clock.
Seven on the shot clock. Benite looks for space. Over to McFadden. And Evans flies in for the rebound. And Apic called for a reach. So it's 4 fouls on Apic. It's a weird foul to give away on the rebound. And the thing is, they put Spiso on the line, stops the clock. Excuse me. They called a technical on Apic, in fact, for complaining. So that allows him to go to the free throw line, Spiso. He complained about not being fouled, presumably, on his missed shot. Anyway, 1:04 remaining in the third quarter. Al Clark again has been absolutely phenomenal tonight. McFadden fumbles it away, now into the hands of Evans, whose numbers, and he dumps it off, and fourth dunk of the night for Colby. He's got 8 points on 4 dunks. Unbelievable. Well, in fact, it is believable. He's such a good dunker. Back to a 10-point game. 3-point shot, and Fittipaldo. That's what he's done all season long, is hit 3-pointers. Final seconds ticking off the clock. Smith over to Pierre for 3. He launches. And Rivero, that will not count. Jean-Pierre just has not made any type of impact tonight offensively, and his team desperately needs him to get going in the fourth quarter. San Pablo Burgos on top, 74-61. I think the jump shot by Gentile made it 8 points, but instead of capitalizing on that, the momentum went right back to Burgos because of the 3 free throws that they made as a result of the loss of composure. And then they hit a 3-pointer as well. But with the Colby dunks, there is hope. Still 10 minutes, still a long way to go. They got to come out and play defense. They got to come out and rebound. They got to come out and score. They don't have to play perfect, but they got to play harder. And again, they need to get something out of Dechampierre. Lima, and they call the charge on Lima. Watch this. Yeah, he kind of lowered his left shoulder and went right into him. So good defense by Evans. Now Colby, not really a threat unless he catches it down low. And he passes to Bucarelli. Bucarelli tried to get it back to Colby. Osio Rivero, meanwhile, hands it off over to McFadden. Down low, and they tried to go for the alley-oop slam. And Lima was fouled.
Primera falta personal del número 23 de Dinamo Sassari, Dwight Connolly. Y ha habido cambio en el Dinamo Sassari, se ha sentado Lorenzo Bucarelli y ha entrado en pista Marco Spisu.
Lima misses the first. But it is going to take, you would think, something special here for Dinamo Sassari if they're going to come back. Because the lead is now 14 points. Spissu looks for space, over to Pierre. Passes it back outside. Smith open for three. Battle for the rebound. What hustle from McFadden. And he hears the applause from his teammates. And now 3-second violation.
Vamos a por otra buena defensa. ¡Vamos, Burgos!
So the turnover actually was on Thaddeus McFadden. It's a ball handling turnover. Philosten have forced the deciding game 3. They've won it 75-69 over Bearstar Tenerife. You'd have to call that an upset even though they were at home. Pierre hands it off, and inside it goes. And Colby is fouled, so now he's going to have to go to the line. And you can look at Vitor Benite telling his fellow Brazilian to be quiet, don't get a technical. Lima has picked up the foul.
Hay cambio en San Pablo. Burgos se sienta eliminado por faltas personales Augusto Lima y entra en pista Dragan Apis.
This might be an opening now for Colby. Well, with Lima out of the game, but he misses his free throw. He gets 1 of 2. Remember, Dinamo Sassari led by 17 points in this game in the first half, but Burgos came back and took the 45-43 lead at halftime. Evans goes to work, and the foul called on Clark.
Segunda para personal del número 5 de San Pablo Burgos, R16.
Not a shooting foul, so they have to inbound it. It's 3 fouls on Burgos now. Evans thought about the 3, now turns it over. Well, imagine what must have been going through that man's mind right there, Peñarroya. You discover earlier in the day you're not going to have any fans. This incredible home court advantage that you've had all year suddenly is one that with no fans, even though the guys that are in here, whoever they are, make quite a bit of noise. You then fall behind by 17 points, and you start to think, if we have to go to Dinamo Sassari and win game 3, that is not going to be easy. But his team has really done well to battle back and take the lead. Now can they finish it off? Duchamp Pierre, meanwhile, wanting the basket to count. See if this goes. Did it hit off the backboard first? That's what Pierre is saying. It was definitely close, but I think the referee has ruled against him and said the block happened without goal interference. At least Pierre's been able to make a couple of free throws, see the ball go in the basket. Now it's an 11-point game. And Dinamo Sassari trying to turn defense into offense here. Need to be more disruptive on this end of the floor. The ball goes out of bounds. With 5 on the shot clock.
Hey! You go, Gordon.
Apich. And nobody boxed out Rivero. I could be wrong, but I think that was Pierre's man. He's just got to box him out and let somebody else grab the rebound. Colby. Well, I thought he was just a dunking machine, but here he is hitting the soft jump shot. They can't trade baskets, though. They got to get stops. Pasas. Shot clock winding down. McFadden, a little floater. And there you go. Another 2 for McFadden. 8 points. Spisu gets inside again, but it's all about stops. They've got to get stops and rebounds. Spisu with 21 points. He had 17 in the first half. Pasas open, why not, he says, and there he is. That was a long 3. Well, they had to watch as Dinamo Sassari rained 3-pointers on them in the first half, in the first quarter rather. Now Pasas gets the 3, he's got 13 points. Colby misses from mid-range. Now it's starting to look like a very tall order for Dinamo Sassari, trailing by 14. Bounce pass, Apich. And 16 points is the lead, and San Pablo Burgos are in command. Smith from behind the arc, it's good. Pasas gets it to Jaciel Rivero. Well, Spisu's played his heart out, but look at this, diving for that ball. And this is Smith doing everything he can not to allow the basket, but to make Rivero go to the line where he's struggled tonight. Jaciel Rivero at the free throw line where he's 4 of 8. Pasas really has a more important role, I think, with this Burgos team that he had at Iberostar Tenerife. It wasn't that he was unimportant, but I think they need him more here. And he seems to really make that difference when he comes into the games for San Pablo Burgos. Only makes 1 of 2. He did have some big contributions for Iberostar Tenerife, don't get me wrong, but anyway, Pierre spins, gets inside, and earns a trip to the line. The good news is the clock stops with 4:28 to go, and I think Apich is fouled out. So he will go take a seat for the rest of the night. That was a nice spin move by Pierre.
Acá viene San Pablo Burgos, se sienta eliminado por faltas personales. Y entra en pista Víctor Benítez.
Well, on the night, Dechampierre, 3 points. All of them have come at the line. Well, doesn't matter how you score them now, just as long as you score them, makes the first. And makes the second. 5 points now. Timeout again. Last roll of the dice for Gianmarco Pizzeco and Dinamo Sassari, their Basketball Champions League hopes hanging by a thread.
Every pick and roll, we trap. But hey, other three players, we have to be aggressive. Okay, especially if he's on the side. We trap and we let the last player here or here by himself. Okay, Deshaun, okay, Dwight, but aggressive on the ball. Then in offense we have to go fast, we go for the Deshaun. Okay, without any call.
Let's go. Dinamo.
Vamos, jugamos, one first, todos al rebote, todos al rebote.
Of all the potential wins, of all the wins they've had this season, San Pablo Burgos last week was incredible because they could have caved in against Dinamo Sassari after Dinamo Sassari came back to take the lead. But this might even be more impressive considering they were down 17 points. Their fans weren't allowed in, as the Spanish government ruled that no fans would be allowed inside the arenas, sporting events, in a bid to contain the coronavirus. And yet here San Pablo Burgos are really showing some toughness. And Earl Clark, he and Jaciel Rivero basically put their team on their back and they just rammed through Dinamo Sassari. And you have to have a lot of respect for a player like Clark with those 22 points. His attitude has been phenomenal. 3-point shot from Spissu. Cuts it back now to an 11-point game. And Spissu tripped up. Basas tripped up rather by Spissu. This is when your conditioning has to be great if you're a player like Spissu. This is why you run those extra miles in the summer before the season. And you have to look after yourself because you're going to have games where you have to play a lot of minutes. Rivero gets it inside and scores. Now Pierre and Rivero, who has just been a monster. Up to Clark. Rivero has a Shaq-like 17 points and 13 rebounds tonight. And he might end up with even more. Colby had a look down low. And with 2:45 remaining, San Pablo Burgos closing in on victory. McFadden, short. And the follow is Basas. Well, we haven't seen much of Sorokas tonight for whatever reason. He played pretty well in that game last week.
Tercera falta personal del número 8 de San Pablo Burgos, Víctor Benítez.
Sorokas misses the free throw. Well, disappointing conclusion to the season it is shaping up to be here in the Basketball Champions League for Dinamo Sassari. But again, don't forget they had game one at home. And despite, you know, running into a very hot Vitor Benitez, see Basas adding to his tally. Despite running into Benitez, you came back and you had a chance to win that game and you did not. And then you had to hit the road and come here to Burgos. You play when their fans are not allowed in the arena, so it's not like you haven't had opportunities. And it hasn't been for a lack of trying. I mean, they've worked hard tonight, Dinamo Sassari. But I think really the quality of San Pablo Burgos has shown through tonight. Of all the attributes that they've been able to show tonight, the one that has to be most impressive, in my opinion, has been their mental strength, their mental toughness when trailing by 17 points. And most impressive in that regard was Earl Clark and Jaciel Rivero. Those two guys really set the tone tonight. And we've seen Clark kind of mess up a couple of times here late, but it's insignificant for what he did earlier tonight. He was not making any mistakes. He was making big plays. And just another rebound. This is fifth rebound of the night to go with his 22 points. And I think Earl Clark might need to come sit down. He looks a bit tired, and Pino Arroyo is going to leave him out there. 106 to go, 16-point lead. And again, it did not look good early on for San Pablo Burgos, but they were just waking up late. Jamie Smith's three-pointer gets it back to a 13-point deficit. But I can't imagine Pino Arroyo being any prouder tonight of his team than he has been at any point this season. He's going to have a lot of good things to say about how they held together in those tough moments and have come through. And while I've highlighted Rivero, Jaciel Rivero and Earl Clark, I mean, there have been other players that have come in and made sizable contributions. So they're just going to dribble out. They might even just turn it over at the end. They're going to go ahead and play. Basas launches it. So that's going to be it. Dinamo Sassari, tough way to end for them. They have had a whale of a season in the Basketball Champions League, but it comes to an end. There's only going to be one winner when it's all said and done. And their run comes here at the round of 16 with a game 2 defeat, 95-80. It's San Pablo Burgos winning over Dinamo Sassari. So into the quarterfinals go San Pablo Burgos. And next up will either be Hapoel Yahabank Jerusalem or Peristeri Windmasters. Whichever of those two teams makes it, boy, they're going to have to be ready, because this is a very focused, a very good, a veteran-laden San Pablo Burgos team. Has that man been fishing tonight? All night long he's been fishing. Unbelievable. He's caught the biggest catch of all, a win. So, I'm not sure who these guys are. Fans weren't allowed in the arena, but they must be members of the club. And they're going to go ahead and carry through with their tradition, singing to the fans. They'll be partying outside, I would think. I see, he's a player. Just trying to recognize who it is.
Y los ánimos de todos los que habéis estado en casa han sido seguro indispensables porque nuestro equipo lo ha dado por vosotros.
So 14 of 29, Sassari inside the arc, 12 of 28 from deep, 16 of 20 at the line, 10 three-pointers in the end for Burgos. But just look at the rebounds. I mean, that is a phenomenal difference. I mean, a lot of that was late, really, when they were tired, Dinamo Sassari, but a lot of it was Josiel Rivero, who was just not going to be denied, really. 22-17 and 17 for Clark, Rivero, and Bassas, respectively. Unfortunately for Dinamo Sassari, really, they lacked that third score tonight. That was Goran Huskic. That was watching with the knee injury. So he's on the squad, but wasn't able to play tonight. Obviously has the knee injury. So here's some of the highlights. It'll be interesting to hear the reaction from Burgos tonight, from their fans. I think they understood the bigger picture about why fans cannot be allowed in the arena because of the need to contain the coronavirus. But they have to be proud. They have to be really excited about their team, about overcoming this adversity, not only before the game, not knowing their fans weren't going to be there, but also digging deep after they trailed by 17 points. And for Dinamo Sassari, they just ran out of gas tonight. You just felt like when they couldn't protect the 17-point lead, it was going to be awfully difficult to get to the finish line. And really, you felt the same way last week with San Pablo Burgos, because don't forget they got out to a big lead in that game, and Dinamo Sassari came back, and yet San Pablo Burgos were able to make just enough plays down at the end of the contest in that game to win it 84-81. So last week, it was San Pablo Burgos that jumped out to a 17-point lead, only for Dinamo Sassari to come back and to take the lead. But San Pablo Burgos were able to late, especially with Earl Clark making some big plays. They were able to come back and win the contest. Tonight, the same could not be achieved by Dinamo Sassari. So the possibilities are there. You know, they are now one series away, a quarterfinal series away from advancing to the Final Four, and what an achievement that would be for San Pablo Burgos, their first season in a European competition, and one in which they only made it into after making it through the qualifying rounds. But I think even last year people were talking, in fact I know they were here in Spain, about this Burgos team. If they played well enough, if they could get into the Basketball Champions League, what a great addition it would be because of their fans, which sadly we didn't get to see tonight, but hopefully we'll see them soon. So they win that one. Now they await the winner of tomorrow's game. If it's Peristeri Windmasters, then that'll go to a deciding third game to be played in Jerusalem. Otherwise, if Hapoel Bank Yahav Jerusalem win tomorrow, then they will be the opponents for San Pablo Burgos in the quarterfinals. Thanks for watching.